Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use dynamic query inputs. So when do you use dynamic queries? You use dynamic queries when you need to run the same query multiple times, but need to change one, two, or maybe more of the variables within the query each time before you run it. Dynamic query inputs lets you use UI input fields to modify query variables instead of directly editing the SQL. There are two benefits to this approach. The first one is that you can quickly modify queries across your entire query by just changing the input field once. And the second one is that it allows you to make fewer mistakes when you're modifying the queries directly. There are two types of dynamic query inputs: variable inputs and date offsets. And I'm going to show you how to use each one of those. The first one is variable inputs. So let's say we have a COVID-19 data set and we want to run the same query each time, but we want to change the country for each one of the queries. So first I'm going to paste my existing query and it just says select everything from Corona, where the country is the US and the date is greater than May 11th. So this is a month ago. And I'm just going to take the first 100 because we have a lot of data for US. So first I'm going to hit run. So now let's say that you want to change the country and then rerun this query. What you could do is you can change this country manually each time, right? Or you can use our variable input. The way you use it is you replace the input using our variable, which is $ and curly brackets. And here you can say country. You'll notice that a new input field is being created down here. Here I can change the country and then run again. I can change it to any country in my data set. So this is a very easy way to change that country variable each time without having to edit my query directly. The second kind of input variable is date offsets. So let's say that you want to change your date offsets by a month, or you want to change the date itself. So instead of having to type the date each time for your query, what you can do instead is replace this using our date offset variable. So you can remove this and type at and then curly brackets and then call this date. And now I have a new input field that allows me to offset date. So instead of saying select data from date greater than May 11th, I can do a 4-week offset, which is 4 weeks from today, and then run that instead. So this is how you use date offsets. This is very helpful when you want to schedule queries that run at specific times and you want to grab data from a week before the time it runs. And this helps you change this dynamically without having to modify the query each time. So this is how you use dynamic query inputs to easily modify your queries without having to directly edit the SQL. Thank you.